Hello, my name is Dr. Ruthie, or Dr. Ruth Newstifter if you want to be formal. I'm a professional sexuality educator and I blog over at exploringintimacy.com. Today I'm here thanks to the great folks at funwares.com who are sponsoring this series so that I can answer your questions about sex and relationships. If you want to send me a question, you can email it to AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. AskDrRuthie at funwares.com. And I have a question today. They didn't sign it with a name, so I'm not going to read the one that's attached to the email. So it's from Anonymous. Hi, Dr. Newstifter. Hello, Anonymous. My boyfriend and I have sex regularly, but I have never reached orgasm. I'm female. And he doesn't orgasm every time either. When he does orgasm, it takes over half an hour. Only once did it take less time. Is there something wrong? We're both healthy and in shape. I take a particular prescription for arthritis. I'm leaving it out to help save anonymity. Could that be related? How and where can I get help? Thanks a lot. All right, thank you for this question, Anonymous. And this is a really good one. Lots of folks have questions about frequency of orgasm, if at all, during intercourse, especially male-female intercourse. So the first key question that I wanted to know, and you can consider this for yourself or drop me a line as the case may be, are you able to reach orgasm on your own? If not, and if it is because you have not tried or you tried it but you didn't really put your heart into it and really explore and experiment enough to really have a good chance of success, or you tried it but just kind of feel like you're broken so you gave up and just said, I'm not going to do that. My first suggestion to you is to learn how to masturbate. And you can share that exploration and that fun with your partner. You can learn how to masturbate with him there, cheering you on, turning you on, helping you out, whatever the case may be. But this is for you to explore with your own feedback from your own body. Because it's, when we're still learning what we want, it's really extra hard to communicate that to our partners. It's kind of hard enough to figure it out for ourselves sometimes. And so being able to just respond to yourself and your own feedback is really the best way to do it. I have done some videos before about how to masturbate and how to stimulate women by hand, so you could be learning that for yourself like that. And there's many other excellent resources out there as well. If you have not been able to orgasm by yourself, and it's not for lack of trying, my follow-up question would be, is it recently that you have not been able to orgasm, but you were able to in the past? Like, was there a moment or a week or a day where there was a sudden change and the change didn't quit? If the answer to that is yes, it's time to get yourself to a doctor for two reasons. One is for a solid checkup. And you know what? It's good to go in and get a checkup no matter what, but I'm going to say it's extra important in this case. If suddenly your orgasmic functioning changes dramatically, it could be as a result of a prescription that you just started taking, in which case you want to communicate that so they can tweak around if possible and help you work with it. Or it could be a sign that there's a larger health problem, and this could be the #1 flag waiver that happens in advance to let you know. So you want to go in and get the whole circulatory system and the hormones and all that stuff checked out. Let your doctor know. They should know what it means when you tell them that. And if they don't, it's time to find another doctor who at least can help you with this one, if not another doctor all around. When it comes to prescriptions, speak to your doctor about that by all means. Also, don't hesitate to talk to a pharmacist. They're very well trained about prescriptions, and they hear a lot of feedback about these prescriptions from their clients and their customers at the pharmacy, but definitely go in and get that checkup. In fact, it's probably a good idea in general if you're having sexual concerns. So if you are not able to orgasm by yourself because you haven't tried it, and it's not because you have had a prescription change or there's some sort of urgent health situation going on, then drop me a line and tell me the answer that I didn't guess, and we can go from there. If you have been able to orgasm by yourself, and maybe you're not masturbating or self-stimulating much anymore because you have thoughts or feelings about that in relationships, or your partner has thoughts or feelings, I say bring it on back. Bring back that self-stimulation, absolutely. This is your opportunity to communicate to your partner what works for you. Because whether you know it or not, intercourse is not the #1 way that people as a group tend to most easily orgasm. In fact, a lot of research shows that it's not the #1 pleasure thing that people do when it comes to wanting to get off. Yes, a lot of people like having intercourse. That's lovely. I'm not against it by any means. However, most people have better stimulation and more intense pleasure through manual stimulation or through oral stimulation from their partner, manual stimulation from themselves. And if you can orally stimulate yourself, I don't even know how you have time to write me an email. But anyway, so that is normally how folks have the most ease of orgasm. So if you can masturbate, oh, and with toys, shame on me for forgetting that. If you can masturbate successfully, bring that into the bedroom with him and incorporate it. You can be having wonderful orgasms that way and be having intercourse, and you're just, having a second course. That's excellent. This is something to share. If you don't feel safe or you don't feel emotionally intimate enough with this person to be sharing that, that's something for you to process by yourself and together as a relationship. Hopefully, if you can share your body in this sexual way regularly, then you can also share your pleasure with this person. But I leave that up to your judgment to decide whether that's a good idea, because I've never met the guy. There are lots of reasons to enjoy sex, and you mentioned that you're having sex frequently. Good for you, and I certainly hope that you're enjoying sex and you're getting things out of it that you want. If you're having sex for another reason other than that you enjoy it, it's time to sit and process that, because if you don't want to be there and you're not enjoying it, it's going to be really hard to have an orgasm. So there may be some processing and some reshaping about why you're having sex if it isn't something that you enjoy. Speaking of, you could really enjoy sex, but still have some hang-ups or some concerns or some things to process at the same time. The word hang-up is no judgment on you. We all have them, one place or another. Anyone who is without hang-ups did not grow up on this planet. And so these are all things that we face, right? Regardless of our gender or sexuality, whatever the case may be. So you may be thinking to yourself, gosh, I really have a hard time relaxing or feeling pleasure in front of my partner. I have a hard time letting them know what I want. I have a hard time figuring out what I want before I can even let anyone else know what I want. We've been having sex without orgasms for so long. This has gotten kind of boring, but I hate to say it out loud. Any of those sorts of situations or a million others can play into difficulty with having orgasms during intercourse. So those are all worth identifying as well. And I want to toss in there, if you have had negative sexual experiences in the past, that can make it difficult to just really relax and feel pleasure and communicate pleasure and know what you want. And there is no shame in that. You are in the majority of women, sad to say, terrible yet normal, statistically speaking, that women have experienced some form of emotional or physical violence at some time during their life that can very well have an impact on their sex lives later on. And so finding a good professional to help you with that is definitely called for. If you're experiencing it in this relationship, finding a professional to help you with that is definitely called for right now. Very good. A couple of tips from past videos. Make sure that you're open to trying lubricant and seeing if it works for you and if it helps make things better. Some women hate it, but a lot of women love it. Make sure that you're focusing on the clitoris. If you don't know where that is, check out my videos and other resources out there on the internet from high-quality folks like scarlatine.com, because that is the home of the orgasm for the vast majority of women. And try vibrators and see how that works, whether it's solo or with your partner. That kind of consistent stimulation along with lubricant takes a lot of the weight off our shoulders of trying to figure out pleasure, and does the same for our partners too. And when we can relax and just experience that pleasure and know we're not tiring anyone out, not worry about the time, not worry that they're getting tuckered or anything like that, then we can just really relax and enjoy it, and then communicate what worked to our partner and trust them to really enjoy it no matter how long it takes to, now that we know what we want. Really hope that these suggestions give you some directions to get started. It's a big, broad question, so I wasn't quite exactly sure which direction to take it in, but all food for thought for you. I'm Dr. Ruthie, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks.